You returned to WWE at that moment in 2004, and you worked there for 3 years. But I particularly was, pretty upset because the gimmick they worked. Yeah, it worked as a babyface, but who came up with the idea of, putting a dress on this Italian badass or this German badass? The top heel in every company he's been, and suddenly you're wearing a dress and being a baby's face. Who took this opportunity, or he granted you this opportunity? Who was the person with that idea?
The person with the idea was Stephanie and Vince McMahon. Okay. Oh. Now, you can't become a successful babyface unless you are the bad boy of the bad boys, because they wait for you to turn and they want to cheer you, because it was kind of like ECW when I'm wrestling and I was a heel, but the people cheered me. In WCW, I was a heel, the people cheered me. When I was in TNA, I was a heel, the people cheered me. I wasn't trying to get the cheers. I was just being that if I would have turned babyface in WWC for Carlos Colon, I think I would have blew the island up. Everybody would have went crazy. And if I would have won the title, being a babyface, a German winning the title in WWC, you don't get bigger than Carlos Colon or Invader or Abdullah. And, that's just a little bit of the history, because you had guys like, Invader, you had Chicky Star, you had Bronco, Hurricane Castillo, Miguelito Perez, Savio Vega. You had, Hercules Ayala. You have Profi as a manager. You had a wrestler. You had the Wizard as a manager. You had Victor Quinones down there, you had the Glamour Boys, Sean and Shane. You had Ricky Santana, Fidel Sierra. D'Lo Brown was down there, went to the WWE, And you talk about the wrestlers who passed through there, who became great and went on to big success. If they don't go through the WWC, or like I went to the USWA with Jerry Lawler and Jack Veneno and all these places to gain the experience, I never would have been anything or being able to wear the dress or become that great superstar. I would not have been able to do it.
I'll translate that to Spanish. En aquel momento dado, la decisión de ponerle este traje o este vestido no fue suya, fue de Vince y de Stephanie McMahon en aquel momento dado, pero él menciona que para que ese tipo de transiciones ocurra, recuerda, el tipo era un rudo durante toda su carrera, tenías que haber trabajado como rudo. Entonces, si él hubiese hecho esa transición de rudo estando trabajando en Puerto Rico como Skullbone Crush y de repente viera la babyface, el lugar hubiese estallado, y más si le hubiesen dado un título. Entonces, menciona, pues obviamente tenías nombres grandes como Ricky Santana, como el Invader, como Carlos Colón, como Hércules Ayala, tenías narradores, tenías manejadores, bueno, como Chiqui Star, tenías manejadores del calibre del Profe, del Wizard, entre muchísimos otros talentos, y obviamente no es algo que ocurre de la noche a la mañana, es una transición que toma un periodo de tiempo, pero pues la decisión fue de Vince y de Stephanie en su momento dado. How was your relationship with Vince specifically? I mean, you worked for him on and off for over a decade easily, technically for like 13 or 14 different years, like yes. in the same pathway. So if you were there for over a decade, he must, love your talent. He must recognize your talent. But how was your relationship with him as a boss?
As a boss, him knowing, the thing that impressed me was he knew everybody's name. He always knew what you were doing. He always had an idea for your gimmick. And he would always be involved, not only with you, but with everybody in the company. And I thought that was great. I used to watch him and I learned from him from afar because I wanted to learn what it took to be successful like him. And I watched how he carried out things, and I sat and I was a student of the game. And the one thing that I didn't mind about the dress was I saw Vince McMahon do hardcore matches, get his head busted open, do these things. So if the boss of the company can do these things and he says, okay, can you wear a dress? Yes, sir. When you get one opportunity and you get something, you make it work. My being that I have the experience from all the places I've been, when the boss asks you to do something, you do it. And it's not a political thing. It's not an argument. It's not saying I can't. Yes, sir, I'll do it. Now, did I know how to work the dress? No, it's my experience from all the great places that I learned how to be a wrestler that taught me how to do something this great, where I became the biggest babyface, the most recognizable pro athlete, where people looked at me and they saw me in the street, they said, that's him, that's Vito. They knew. I was ahead of my time.
I'll translate that to Spanish. En aquel momento dado, su relación con Vince como jefe, pues obviamente era buena. El detalle está en que Vince siempre estaba pendiente del talento, conocía, dice que le impresiona eso, conocía los nombres de todos, siempre tenía una idea creativa para todos los personajes y siempre brindaba oportunidad. Entonces, cuando le pide a él que se ponga este traje, él pensó y recordó esos momentos de que Vince acabó con la cabeza rota, los luchas hardcore, entre muchísimas otras cosas. Y si el jefe estuvo dispuesto a hacer esto, pues yo lo voy a hacer, no hay ningún problema. Él puso su cuerpo en juego, porque entonces yo no puedo ponerle un poco de empeño. Solamente necesitas una oportunidad y lo logras hacer y logras alcanzar el éxito. De esta manera entonces él lo hace y dice que más bien por cuestión de honor, cuando tú vas a un trabajo y un jefe te pide hacer algo, sí señor, vamos a hacerlo y vamos a trabajar y vamos a sacar lo mejor que podamos hacer de esta oportunidad. Y lo interesante de esto es que cuando él está en SmackDown, en su momento dado, él era uno de los top baby faces de toda la empresa. Todo el mundo recuerda a Vito, todo el mundo lo recuerda saludando al público, el tipo lo reconocían en la calle, todo el mundo como que ese es él, ese es Vito cuando pasaba por la calle. Y obviamente ya tenía su linaje y su bagaje como luchador, pero eso es bien interesante ese comentario.